kind of just thinking I'll head back. Just turned around. So it's probably another video that I posted that I'm talking about where I just did some exploring. I was just thinking, I'm always looking to have conversations with people about the Sasquatch. I just find that topic fascinating. And I was just thinking of the different types of research that people do. One way some people research, because it's all they're able to do, is just on the internet. Listening to stories on YouTube and maybe joining Facebook groups and seeing what they can find, learn. And of course, possibly reading books. And so sort of researching from home. And there is a lot out there. If you start looking, I'm amazed as just when I hear about new people, new names, look them up, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, there's so many. For me personally, there's already there's already more people than I could even research. And probably if I just researched them nonstop for a couple of years, I wouldn't have enough time. There's so much. And then you have encounter stories on like Sasquatch Chronicles, How to Hunt. And there's quite a few others out there that tell stories, read stories. And so you can really, I think, learn a lot from the comfort of your own home doing research. There's so much. And of course there's YouTube videos like this one where you can just watch videos and sort of vicariously explore with someone. I was also thinking how there's sort of differing schools of thought. There's evidence-based research, I would say. Scientific, logical, evidence-based research. And then there's definitely a different frame of mind, I guess you'd say, type of research where it's not evidence-based. It's almost a form of research where it almost seems preferable not to look for evidence or seek evidence, as it, I suppose, allows more room for possibilities, so to speak, where I suppose evidence-based would be limiting in the sense that the only definitive items are evidence, footprints, hair samples, visual sightings, handprints, things like that. I don't know where the lines would blur with, I mean, I'm kind of making these up as I go. It's not like these are technical forms of research, but just observing the community and everything, it does seem like there's some people that they might hear a lot of stuff that you would consider to be done by Sasquatch. Whoops, howls, knocks, maybe a tree crashing. And some would say, I don't know what it was, so I can't say that it was Sasquatch. Others would say, what else would do that? And they might even just sort of use the process of elimination where they are geographically to think of the other types of predators that could do such a thing and rule that it had to be Sasquatch in their opinion, unless there's something else like Sasquatch that could do that. With all that, researching this and everything else certainly is a rabbit hole in itself. And that is depending on the individual's experience. I suppose if you've had experiences of your own, then you would go from there. Certainly I've heard of some experiences that would be classified as paranormal, And if someone had something like that and they associated it with Sasquatch, then I presume they would go down that path. And someone else who just saw one might just simply want to find footprints, hair samples, and search for evidence or whatever and research that way and see what they can find. I personally have heard enough of the high strangeness to think, in my opinion, this is my opinion, not saying I'm right or wrong, that I feel like that is associated with them. And once again, in my opinion, I feel that if you are evidence, science, logic-based only, you might be limiting yourself from just being open to all the possibilities of how the Sasquatch might just limiting yourself with what you're able to find out. And because it seems like a percentage of experiences that are talked about, reported, whatever, kind of fall into that, or there's an element in there. So for one thing, you might not want to just dismiss something because of that, because there is a lot of it. There is a lot of various paranormal, supernatural type of stuff that's reported. I agree with David Paulides, and I once again, my opinion, that it seems to be a part of it. It's like, if you haven't heard of that, I don't know if I would be as bold as the way he put it, but I would just be surprised if you haven't run across that at some point with your research, as far as in the informational gathering part of it. Look at that curve right there. There's a beautiful arch kind of right now at center screen. And I also think I fall into the category that I spoke of earlier, where I said, if you're kind of open to that stuff, seeing if I can see that from this side. I've been here before. There's some interesting prints. I think they might be shoes, but look at that. That's from this side. I'm kind of reaching out because I'm right on the edge of that, but that's pretty cool. I think it leaves you open for more possibilities, and just maybe learning, or even taking a few more stories seriously that you might have dismissed, thinking because it had strangeness that that it can't be real. I've heard enough of that where I feel there's something to it. I believe that, and I do not claim to try to understand what or anything like that, but it definitely comes up a lot. Just checking out this place as I talk, and yeah. That being said, for me personally, whatever your preference, your flavor, your type of researching, I think it's cool either way. I have no right to tell you like you're wrong. I did share my opinion, and but I would never, someone who's just kind of, they can barely wrap their mind around this to begin with, and they're just only right now interested in logical stuff, visuals. That's so cool, like, because there's only a small percentage of people that believe in this, or even might. So I think that's cool to share that common interest. Part of me feels like we all got to stick together, because some of us can get a ration of crap just for believing from people who don't believe, and they think you're nuts. And it's nice to have people to talk to. It reminds me of when I got sober and having others, that camaraderie to share your struggles and experiences with. Experience, strength, and hope, they would say. Really cool. So yeah, I was just having a little brainstorm, thinking I would just talk about something as I'm walking through this pretty cool place. Thinking about the different research, types of research, science and logic, evidence-based research versus whatever the opposite is, the open to the paranormal and everything type of research. And yeah, I did not really expect to hear any of that stuff when I started listening to stories, which was not too long ago. I started just listening and was fascinated. I think it might have been Mr. Ballin I heard telling some kind of a story, and then related videos brought me to the facts by How to Hunt with Steve Istall. And I just started thinking, my goodness, I think after hearing a bunch, I started thinking these might be real emails and so on and so on, and thinking, my goodness, is this real? And I personally now do believe in Sasquatch, and I think it's an amazing subject. And along with that, I've met some really interesting people, open-minded, fascinating people. I think it takes a certain type of open-mindedness to just believe in this. And I love researching like this, just going out to the forest and having a look around and seeing what I can find. I've seen some stuff that I feel was done by Sasquatch, some stuff that's hard to tell, but I love it. I love this kind of exploring. And yeah, I just figured I would have a little chat, talk about something while I'm walking back, kind of make this walk efficient, come up with a little topic, and hopefully start a little conversation in the comments or whatever. See what people think about this. Different types of research. I have to say, I think if you're stuck at home and all you can do is read and watch the internet, I think you can learn a lot that way. Honestly, my opinion. And I just saw something really interesting that I have not noticed before. Just while I was walking. I guess I'll leave this in my video. I love doing this. It's, oh wow. That's pretty cool right there. Look at this. Huh. That's what I had seen. That's so cool. This is probably my favorite thing I found today. This little, beautiful little arch, kind of beautifully wrapped down into that pile of sticks. Look at that. And then it's like the big one. Wow. Look at that thing. Wow. I love finding stuff like that. Look at that. There's two of them right there. And I'm sure I didn't see these before. Wow. That is awesome. Wow. What does that stuff mean? What does it mean? Is there a purpose? I feel like there's some kind of purpose. I've heard some stuff talk about energy. It's a beautiful one there. I mean, because it's right next to those, I feel like that was probably related. Now I'm just taking a peek this way, kind of checking out the area that's sort of got a curve to it. I've said this in other videos. I feel Some of the curves look like they might have been curved when they were young and then released. And there's sort of a hanging branch. That's like a theme that I see a lot. Oop, just kind of, oh my goodness, look at this one. Wow. Beautiful. These are amazing. I think in my exploring video, I talked about how today I haven't really found anything definitive that stands out that looks, you know, like it was handmade. And I don't think I'll be putting this in that video, but that's not the case anymore today. Yeah. Huh. Is there some purpose to that? I mean, being right next to these bends, I wonder. Amazing. Anyways, yeah, I think that'll be all I say about different types of research. Thinking about what I'll title that little talk, and wow. Great ending for my day. Although I do have one more spot that I have in mind that I saw driving in off the road. Look at those. I do see something through kind of center screen. So while I'm right here, just saw that straight ahead. Looked pretty neat. That looks old, but wow. That was cool. It's like a perfect X right there. Tons of impressions, but I mean, those could be interpreted as huge feet. I just don't know. I don't have any, I've never seen anything clear out here. Straight there, kind of center screen, is like a small branch that's sort of bent down on the top of that tree, snapped off. Wow. Beautiful. And there's that beauty, and can't even see the other ones. There's that one. Can't remember if there was another past it, but this one, and kind of now center screen, there's sort of like a big limb standing up next to it, leaning against it. And over here, there's that one. Beautiful. I just love when I find something really cool like this. Hopefully you're enjoying this little extra B-roll in my little chat there. And yeah, that's really just my opinion. Looks like this is kind of organized in a way. Right next to those, you can see, even though there's trees right here, hopefully you can see the two different arches kind of center screen there. But yeah, that's just my feeling with that stuff. And if you completely disagree with the sort of supernatural paranormal aspect, or just being open to it, hopefully we can still be cool anyways. Look over here, because I see a tree that's parallel to the ground, and then there's this. Huh. Wow, yeah, that one's kind of cool too. Sort of starts right there. That just sounded like a knock, like right in front of me. Wow. Oh my goodness. You know, that noise like came from right here. But yeah, I saw that. When I heard it, I sort of looked up and was like, whoa. That's a cool curve on that. Nice curves, Long Island Bigfoot. Kind of a, I caught myself saying curves, maybe nice curves, probably one too many times in a video, and made a joke of myself, but that's pretty cool there. Hopefully you heard that sort of knock sound. Right around here somewhere. I'll have to hear it again, but it sounded pretty clear. I noticed this too, all from this vantage point. Center screen is that one, this one, but it's also going through sort of this Y shape right there. That's cool. And once again, right straight there, center screen is those two that are next to each other. I think I can kind of see one through the greenery that way. They kind of just blend in. And something landed right here. I don't know what that was. Right in front of me. Very cool. I'm pretty close to the vehicle now, and just decided to take a look at this area because it's kind of open, like you see. That's the way it looks from the trail. And not visible from the trail, but just off it, I noticed that it's got a bit of a bend to it, but that looks pretty intriguing. Kind of looks like an arch. Pretty open here. Some of this jungle is just so dense, it's nice to have a spot like this. That I was just looking at kind of center screen. There's also a couple down trees next to each other. One over there or two. Some more stuff here. So just kind of having a look into here where it's wide open. I think we're pretty close to the car. I think that might be just off the parking lot right through there. This could be the back side of, yeah, very cool. So glad that I had a nice owl call earlier. Yeah, okay. Yep, I've been here before, so. All right, wide open here. Cool too. On the way out, saw this little guy, like a miniature bow or arch. So cool. And this is kind of nifty here, just how this is all. Let's see, from the other side. That little one's center screen now. Well, I just got one answer of what makes some of the footprints.